Everyone has them, but none like those who find themselves marginalized and locked behind prison bars for whatever reason. If I could have done this that way, or I should have listened to my mother, my father, my wife. We all have felt those thoughts, but nothing can change the situation we now find ourselves facing. Months, years, decades behind bars, locked in a world where everything is controlled, where many of our thoughts are about revenge, going back and getting even somehow. But we know that's never going to happen, and yet we waste precious hours thinking thoughts that will only lead us back to the place we so desperately seek to escape. I can talk to you about these things because I have been there. I have had the same thoughts. I was so consumed with rage that it nearly destroyed me. It was a constant companion, whispering in my ear, feeding my anger to the point where I became physically sick. And at that point I knew I could not live like that any longer. I was killing myself. And nothing was happening to the people my hate and anger was directed toward. One night, after a very difficult and trying day filled with curses, outbursts and potential violence, I got down on my knees and asked God to help me with the weight I was carrying. Because it had become too heavy for me to carry alone, and I knew that I did not wish to live that way any longer. I had not been raised to hate. I had been taught to love, to respect, to care for others in need, to help those that were less fortunate than myself. I knew that my thoughts and actions were contrary to my beliefs, but that I did not care for a time. Anger guided my actions and thoughts. So I prayed, and help came to me that very night. The mail was passed out. It was a book from my very good friend, Pierre Pradaban, called The Gentle Art of Blessing. And so I started to bless everyone instead of cursing them. And I replaced hate with love and anger with compassion. And my life changed that very day. We all have in us the power and the will to change our perception, even if we can't immediately change our conditions. Our perceptions is what drives our thoughts, and our thoughts are what shape the reality that we confront daily. We can dwell on what circumstances bring us to this point in our lives and blame everything and everyone for our predicament. Or we can use our power and our will to change our perception, to rearrange our thoughts so that we can reshape our reality and use our bad experiences as learning lessons to create stair steps to a better us. Regardless of what you have done, you have the will and the power to change. Starting right now, this very moment, the next step you take, the next breath you make, do it as a changed man. Love is always one thought away. Think it often. I love each of you. We share something that can never be taken away. We share a bond, but only a few of us who survive in our right mind. And trust me, being incarcerated does terrible things to a man's mind. But for those of us who can walk away with our sanity, we know the terrible price that we have paid. Stay strong and stay prayed up. God bless you.